It seems that this will be a bit of a series because this is number 3 of judgment. Scary. I don't know why I'm really affected by this whole judgment thing. And one of the reasons, it's not only my background that I learned this as tiny tot, probably 4 years old, but it has to do with the bases of Islam is you believe in the judgment day, you believe in heaven and hell. And seriously, it's very difficult now because most people don't believe in heaven and hell. They really don't. The devil has been made, well, a comical figure for some. Halloween costume, pitchfork, little red suit with a tail. And more so, he's almost become a power source for some people. Some people are believing in Satan worship. And if they're not overtly realizing they're believing in Satan worship, they are subsequently more than stupid because the things that they are doing are hellish and will bring them to hell. And yet they're just ghafla. They're unaware. And Allah has left them blindly wandering on. Have they heard the message? Now, this is an ongoing discussion between myself and others. I will often say, oh, Qaumi, they don't know, they don't realize, they're too busy going to the mall and partying and buying things and laughing, all the proliferation of comedy clubs. It's ridiculous. I mean, we always had comedians when I was young, but never anything like this. It's like the old saying, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you die. And this was a saying that I heard as growing up, and it wasn't derogatory. It was like giving you the truth. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you die. Well, how horrendous is that? I always knew it was wrong, and I didn't like it. But then I would look all around me and see that that's exactly what people were doing. So they liked the reinforcement of it all. And now it's even worse. Now, the word hedonism? I remember in high school when they first taught us that word, hedonism. Hedonism. What's interesting now that I think about it right now? The suffix ism is often on many nouns in the English language, and that comes from Arabic. Ism, it means the word, the name of something. Anyway, I'm going to get on now to the third and last of tonight's lesson. It's like a trio of fearful warnings. This one is called Al-Infitar. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا السماء انفطرت وإذا الكواكب انتثرت وإذا البحار فجرت وإذا القبور بعثرت علمت نفس ما قدمت وأخرت يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك كلا بل تكذبون بالدين وإن عليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبين يعلمون ما تفعلون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين وما هم عنها بغائبين وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله You notice I did half a page and I didn't stop because it's such a short surah. I think it's going to work out better this way because I have commentary. You know, most people really don't. Most Americans have no clue about this. I sometimes wish I could corral them all in a gigantic prison until they hear the words of Allah. No, you can't do that because Allah guides whom He will. And He already tells us most people are ungrateful, they hate the truth. And they go into the fire. Okay? It's really hard, isn't it? When you think about just how wayward they are. I always ask Allah to give them some big something that will wake them up. Are they all really mostly bad? Well, only Allah knows, and He's all fair. All I can do is do what I'm supposed to do, which is translate for you now, Surat Infitar, and discuss it. When the sky breaks apart, and when the stars fall, scattering, and when the seas are erupted, and when the graves are scattered and exposed, a soul will know what it has put forth and kept back. O mankind, what has deceived you concerning your Lord, the generous, who created you, proportioned you, and balanced you? In whatever form He willed, has He assembled you? No, but you deny the recompense. And indeed, over you are keepers. It says here they're guardian angels, preserving the deeds of men in records, but I like to think that they're guardian angels keeping you safe, too, by the command of Allah, because that's happened to me a few times. Had to be angels, invisible angels. Anyway, noble and recording. They know whatever you do. Indeed, the righteous will be in pleasure, and indeed the wicked will be in hellfire. And they will burn therein on the day of recompense, and never therein, and never therefrom will they be absent. And what can make you know what is the day of recompense? Then what can make you know what is the day of recompense? Twice, you see, the same question. It is the day when a soul will not possess for another soul a thing. And the command that day is with Allah. How clear, how simple, distinguishing the truth from the falsehood and giving the perfect recompense that you are going to get what you deserve. You do wrong and you will be punished. And you do good deeds and you will be rewarded. So, because this was a shorter surah, I would like to review the Arabic with you. Right here, where the biharus fujirat, when the oceans are going to explode, and we know now, and I have mentioned this, I recall a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, the underwater earthquakes, they discovered them, and they were all over the news. At that time, I was in Egypt, so it had to be almost 3 years ago, and I did a lesson on it. And they have discovered, yes, there are underwater earthquakes that explode under the water. Science has proven it, and they have cameras. So when this happens, and it has been happening, so you will know, each nafs is going to know ma qadamat, what they brought forward, wa akhrat, and what they held back. Just imagine now, if you're going to stop and think, what have you been doing, and how much of it have you done, and how much of it could you have done that you have been delaying? This hits me really hard. Oh, you people, don't you understand your Lord created you? Fasawaka, He made you perfect form, just right. That's what sawaka means. And some people would say, oh, but no, He didn't. He made some people deformed. Well, if you know aqidah, that is just right for you. Is that hard to swallow? Where Allah says, fasawaka, fa'addalaka, He fairly made you just right. And you know what? Now that we have TV shows that show you people without legs and arms, they show you people with the most dire deformities. And they're smiling. And they're participating in special needs Olympics. And they're smiling. It will show you a mom with no arms and legs, with a beautiful baby on her lap. And she's caring for the baby with her mouth, dressing the baby. You know what I mean. You have your TV or whatever. I don't have TV forever, but I have my phone. And they always show you that Allah gives people trials. And remember, He never gives you more than you can bear. So that these people that do these things without Allah and without an awareness of qadar, they would go insane. And yet some people are insane because they're dealing in riba, interest. And I tell you clearly, as an 78-year-old woman right now, when Allah says that those who deal in interest are touched by Satan, well, I think the proliferation of interest has caused many Americans, that's how I can speak about what I know, they're not right in the head. Especially the rich ones. They're committing all sorts of atrocities. Could very well be that one reason, right? But have they been really warned? How many imams in a khutbah speak about interest? Don't wait for it. Just like they won't speak about the homo agenda. It's really absurd, isn't it, what's going on? And then Allah says, kalla, it means on the contrary, no way, bal, kalla bal, tukadibuna bid-deen. They're lying about this religion. And it's being recorded, their words. Ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. These angels recording this know exactly what they're doing. And then Allah will make you happy and say, the abrar, lafi na'im, those honest, innocent ones are happy. You know, I have a close friend, a revert, and she named her daughter Abrar. She had twins, Ibrahim and Abrar. She's an American convert. She had 7 children. She's wonderful. She lives in Ohio. I'll tell you her name, Aisha. Her name was Anne, and she married an Egyptian. And by the way, you know, I like to give the anecdotal information. She was married before to a jerk who turned into a drug addict, and she had 2 daughters. And they got a divorce. And Muhammad, who was studying for his PhD in Indiana, where she was from, he married her with the 2 daughters. And he promised her that he would care for those daughters, and she should not fear, because although he married her in a mini skirt, this is America, within a year she became a Muslim. And you know how she became a Muslim? She met some Saudi women. This was before 9/11 at the university, and took lessons from them. And she wore a niqab, and oh, what a beautiful tale. It's not a fairy tale, it's real. It really happened. And he did care for those daughters, those 2 daughters. And then they had 5 more. Yes. Yes, they had 5 more. She had twins when she was over 40, after one of her children was stillborn. This woman is a warrior. She's a heroine. I love her so much. But you know, reverts go through a lot, and this is not the time or place. They can tell their own stories, but I like to mention them out of honor that Allah gave me so many good reverts in my early years when I really needed them. Do I need them now? I would love to have them now, but I don't. I miss Egypt too much. So at the end of this surah, after Allah tells us that the abrar, lafi na'im, they're going to a good place, but the fujar, lafi jahim. And the criminals who openly disobey Allah, fujar, they're going to be in the hellfire. So Allah always gives us the contrasts, the opposites, so we can really get it. And then, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. Do you really comprehend what is Yawm ad-Din? Again, ثُمَّ مَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. The question is posed to you again. Do you really know what is Yawm ad-Din? It is that day when no one will have any account or be responsible for one thing except what they did. And the affair that day is with Allah. And this is a good chance for me to tell you what is the meaning of the word Deen. Yes, it is our religion, but it actually has the same meaning as the letters. I'm saying if you study the meaning of the letters and how they combined, it's a loan. You owe Allah something. So when you're a Muslim and you understand Islam, it's some form of a loan that you are getting from Allah, that He is allowing you to understand what He wants. The word Deen is literally ma yuharrimu wa ma yuhallilu. What is allowed and what is forbidden is the meaning of Deen. So Yawm ad-Din, on the day of the Deen, will be the judgment day when you are questioned, and Allah already knows what you were doing, but you better know that you are standing up there. And you're going to be responsible for every single thing that you ever did. Every tiny dharra, an atom's weight. That's why Allah says in the Quran that whoever makes an atom's weight of good will see it, or an atom's weight of evil will see it. Mithqala dharra. And that's another Arabic miracle, because when Allah says, Man ya'mal mithqala dharratan khayran yara, whoever does an atom's weight of goodness will see it. And then, وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ شَرَّةٍ يَرَى مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرَّ يَرَى. So Adam's weight, mithqal, it comes from thaqula. Thaqula means a weight. Something's thaqil, it's heavy. Mithqal is an Arabic word for the tiniest atom's weight. So why did Allah use thaqula? If it's really heavy, but it's a tiny atom. Well, in closing, I'm going to tell you that the atomic table of weights mentions this. If you're into chemistry, and I only know this because someone I know, check it out. Check it out, the term atom's weight. Because everything has thaqal. You know, the whole concept of gravity. How did they come up with that one? It's your homework. You can do it. Right now, I'm tired and I think I'll turn in. Good night. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.